Hello, and welcome to the third installment of the Weirdo Records Record Roundup with Angela and Mark in Cambridge, Massachusetts at the Weirdo Records Record Shop. We're making this for the Boston Hassle. It's something we do about once a week, and we just tell you about our favorite records. Thanks for watching. Mark, I think you have a tape to tell us about that we're hearing in the background right now.
Yes, my tape pick for this week is Friendship Ceremonies, the solo project by Andy Allen. He's a local guy that went to the music conservatory school here.
Okay.
For a while was the saxophone player for the band Gorilla Toss. But then, they went their own way, and now they have Cassie, and now Andy's doing Friendship Ceremonies, which is his project of saxophone, keyboards, and vocals. On this side, one side is like a 4-track kind of collage, and then the other one, on the other side, he's doing eraser headless tape recordings, where he takes a tape recorder, plucks out the eraser head, and then basically uses the tape recorder as a cheap way to do like overdubs. But the way what happens is when you press record and when you take out the eraser head, whatever you're recording over, you can't hear anything. So it's kind of all by chance. And Andy's, this guy, Son of Salami, Joe Pizza Slice from Burlington, Vermont, kind of showed him the way of the road, and Andy's kind of taken his own way with it.
How many times can you record over before it deteriorates?
I mean, I think you could do it as many times. I think it's always going to deteriorate. It's just the chance is always, there's always a different chance of whether it's going to be a good deterioration or a bad deterioration, if it's going to melt, if it's going to overpower, and kind of just go with it.
It's like blind 4-tracking.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I think is a really cool idea.
It is.
And, really good recording on the Why Do You Yell in My Ear record label run by Sam and Lee. I think this is pretty much sold out at the source. I know we have one copy here, but can't recommend it enough. And yeah, Friendship Ceremonies. Side A is Bad Friendship Day, and B is Joey's Breakfast. So that is my pick.
Nice. Excellent pick.
What is your pick, Angela?
Let's get my pick running on the turntable here. Whoosh! Whoosh, whoosh! Nice! Yes! It's a small store, so sometimes we trip over things. My pick for this week is Rocket Infinity, a compilation that just came out on Canary in conjunction with Mississippi Records. It's a compilation put together of 78s by Ian Nagoski, who is from Baltimore. He was in a little tiny town, not in Baltimore for a while, and now he's back there.
Okay.
Just moved back.
And he's been doing a lot of series for like the Mississippi label, right?
Yeah, he's been making compilations of his 78s for 10 years or more, probably more.
Was he one of the people 15. That got the Truvine series, like kind of?
He's one of the people who started the Truvine record store, and then moved into just doing compilations from there. So I've had a lot of his stuff over the years, and he's got a really interesting sense of compiling stuff. He usually concentrates. The way that I always talk about it is he loves records that sound like people are crying. So he often chooses. He spent like 5 years putting together a set of Greek and Turkish and Armenian recordings that turned into a 3-CD box, and then are now recently out of individual volumes on vinyl. Anyway, this is his latest compilation, and the thing that is exciting about it is if you like 60s records in foreign languages, the standard story is that a person or a band heard the Shadows in the 60s or the Ventures or something like that, but it's almost always the Shadows. And that was how they got their first taste of Western music. And then they would combine it with like local percussion and all over Southeast Asia, in some places in Africa, bunch of chunks of the world. That's what you hear. You hear this like sparkly, surfy style instrumental guitar mixed with a local rhythm section. So many people, there's an easy template there, and you don't always hear records that break that template. Here's a whole compilation of records that do, because they were recorded earlier.
Nice.
And instead, people are imitating Bill Haley and the Comets, Elvis, or just jump blues, sometimes big band jazz. And it goes all over the place. Thailand, Zimbabwe, Japan, Egypt, Colombia, but then India. But then because it's Ian Nagoski who also threw in some immigrants who live in the United States and did the same thing within the U.S. So there's a polka guy from Chicago and other things like that. Some people who collect a lot of, say, 50s Japanese stuff or Bollywood, some of the tracks they may have heard before. I think Los Golden Boys from Colombia, and certainly Kishore Kumar's Ina Minadika is like if you collect Bollywood at all, you probably got that somewhere. If you don't, this is a really good place to start. And it's a nice window into a little world. And truthfully, Kishore Kumar is one of those people who's so good that he fits in like 20 categories. So it's never a problem to have some more of them lying around.
Awesome.
So, Rocket Infinity, new compilation on Canary/Mississippi. My pick this week for the Boston Castle.
Great. This has been Volume 3 of the Weirdo Records Roundup.
Voila!
Voila.